One of the ways to discover France is to rent a car and drive. And if you haven't driven here before, there are a lot of things that you need to be aware of. Things like how to buy and pump gas, reading road signs, specific driving rules, and how to avoid getting speeding tickets. So in this video, I'm going to tell you 10 things you need to know about driving in France to simplify your driving experience. Allez, on y va.
When you're renting a car in France, the first thing you need to know is that you're going to find rental car agencies that you're used to. Places like Enterprise, Hertz, Budget, SIXT, but don't expect them to be open on US hours. Airport locations will be open late, but smaller towns may close for lunch or close by 6 p.m. If your train doesn't arrive until later, you'll need to know that, so check their hours in advance. When you arrive at the agency, you'll need 2 documents, your passport and your driver's license. And you'll need to have originals of these. Paper or virtual copies will not be accepted. If you're coming from the US, you do not need an international driver's license because your regular one will be in English. And if you're coming from a place where your license is not in English or French, you'll need to get an international license to drive here. Now, about the cars. Most people in Europe drive a manual or stick shift car, so that's what they'll have available to rent. They do have automatic cars you can reserve, but expect it to be a little more expensive. And it has happened that we rented an automatic and got a stick shift, and we have friends who ordered a stick shift and got a free upgrade to automatic. If this is something that matters to you, you want to communicate that and make sure you get what you need. Another thing we've heard about is being charged for damages on a rental car. It's entirely possible that the car was scratched or dinged on the narrow roads and skinny parking spots, but just in case, it's a good idea to take a brief video when you get the car and again when you return it, just in case you need proof later. And that brings us to the subject of insurance. Rental agencies in France expect full unlimited coverage, and that's what they'll provide if you take insurance with them. If God forbid you have an accident, they won't wait for your insurance company to settle a claim. They'll demand full damages paid on the spot, even if the car is totaled and you owe 40,000 euros. That's coming out of your pocket, and you'll have to deal with getting reimbursed from your own insurance company for that money. And even if you're not at fault, if the person on the other side doesn't have insurance, you'll be the one paying up front and waiting to settle the claim. So taking the insurance they offer can save you a lot of headaches and expenses if you need it, and it's probably worth the 20 euros or so a day that it'll cost you, so you don't have to worry when you're driving and parking in France.
So first and foremost, don't drive in Paris. It's very expensive to park, it's a nightmare to deal with bus lanes, bicycles everywhere, and not to mention super congested. As a local, I never ever drive in Paris. Taking the metro or using a bicycle is much more efficient to go from one place to the other. The only time I'll agree to drive in Paris is on a Sunday morning in August, because all the Parisians are on vacation. And even then, I'll most likely take the metro so I don't have to deal with parking. Bottom line, don't drive in Paris.
Now, a lot about driving in France is going to feel familiar. For instance, we drive on the right side of the road, traffic lights are red, yellow, and green, even the stop signs say stop. But there are some road signs that are going to be new. There are some practical ones that tell you when you're entering or leaving a town. There's some funny ones like exclamation points indicating some kind of danger, and one with a car driving into the water. There's even one to tell you not to honk your horn. But there are some common everyday signs that you should know about when you're driving in France. For instance, speed limits are indicated by a number inside of a circle. This sign lets you know it's okay to park on the side of the road. The halt péage means there's a toll booth ahead. A circle with 2 cars indicates a no passing zone. And this one means that you're entering a radar zone, but we'll talk more about that later in the video. Céder le passage is a yield sign. This one lets you know the roads are about to get really skinny, and this priorité sign shows you which car should go first on that skinny road. And here's a pro tip: if it's your turn, don't be polite, just go. And if you're entering a tunnel or underground parking lot, you might see this one, which means turn on your headlights. And if you're looking for a place to park and you see this circle with a line through it, or a taxi sign, don't park there, you'll regret it. Now, I know this is a lot to remember, so we put together a cheat sheet for driving vocabulary. There's a link in the description below where you can download that.
The next thing is about this thing called priorité à droite, or the right-of-way rule. On some roads, car coming from your right may have the right-of-way, even if you're on a straight road. This can be very surprising if you're not aware of it and wasn't expecting it.
The roads in France were built a long time before cars were invented, and they could never have imagined them full of big ol' SUVs and minivans. We have a small car, and I still hold my breath going down some of the roads. And don't even get me started on the two-way roads and bridges that are only big enough for one car. They literally have a priority sign to let drivers know which car has the right of way and which one needs to wait for the other to pass. Pro tip, when you're choosing a rental car in France, the smaller option is generally the best.
When you're driving from Paris to another major city in France, you'll most likely get on the highway, and you should expect to have to drive through smaller local or departmental roads winding through towns and villages. You won't find a lot of traffic lights, but you'll find a lot of speed bumps and roundabouts everywhere to slow traffic. And the roundabouts also serve as major intersections where you'll find directional signage to other cities or the centre-ville or the downtown area. When you'll get on the highway, you'll eventually go through a toll booth. Pay attention to get in the correct lane. The one with the credit card or cash is the one you want to get in. The one with the T sign is for people with an automated payment transponder. Don't get in that one unless you have one. Your first step may be to take a ticket, and you'll use that ticket to pay when you exit the highway. When you need to take a ticket, you'll see a signage that says ticket, just like that. And for shorter distances, you'll have to pay before you enter the highway. Now, all the tolls in France are equipped with touchless card payment. Just bump your card, press the button for a receipt if you need one, and you're good to go. On all the highways in France, you'll have a highway rest stop called HERTZ for a quick bathroom break. And some have a gas station, a convenience store, and even a restaurant or fast food. These stops are great and offer a nice break to stretch your legs, grab a bite to eat, get some gas, and a bathroom break. They're clearly marked way before you get to them, and they are about every 50 to 60 kilometers.
One of the things that can be really confusing is that France uses the metric system. And when the speeding sign on the highway says it's 110, it's not 110 miles per hour, it's 110 kilometers per hour, which is really about 68 miles per hour. So you're really not driving crazy fast, even if it looks like you are from the sign. The other place where the metrics gets confusing is with distance. It's happened more than once that I nearly missed an exit because I thought it was farther away. 2.5 kilometers is only 1.5 miles, and those exits can sneak up on you really fast. And this is another benefit of using Waze, because Waze will tell you out loud when your exit is approaching.
If you get a speeding ticket in France, you probably won't know about it until you get home and find a surprise in your mailbox or through your rental company. Everything in France is captured on an automated radar and put into the system. Highway patrols that will stop you and write you a ticket are very rare, and it's mostly done via automated speed radars. Now, legally, there are signs to warn you that there is a speed trap with a radar machine coming up. These traps are called speed enforcement zones, and they are everywhere, in small towns, on country roads, as well as major highways. The best way to deal with that is using the Waze navigation app on your phone, because in addition to giving you directions, it warns you out loud that a speed zone is coming up.
Average speed check zone ahead. Entering average speed check zone.
Now, I'm not a fast driver, but I have avoided getting a ticket more than once with the help of Waze, letting me know that a speed enforcement zone is coming up. And the app is free, so better be safe than sorry. Now, we've been nailed a few times with speeding tickets since we've been here. Honestly, it doesn't take much. The French are very strict with speed limits. The over the limit threshold is just 4 kilometers over the speed limit. So if you're going 55 in a 50 zone, and if there is a speed radar, you'll get a ticket. But if you get a ticket anyway, it's better best to pay it ASAP. The price vary based on how many kilometers over the speed limit you are going. Most likely, it will go through your car rental company and they'll invoice you accordingly. But if this is your car and you're coming from another country, they'll find you one way or another. That's one way the French are very efficient.
Parking in France can be challenging. There are a lot of parking lots that are underground with tiny spaces and tight winding turns. And be sure to take your parking ticket with you, as you might need to scan it to get back into the garage. Curbside parallel parking is often available, and it may be worthwhile to practice that before you get here. But don't expect these spots to be free. You'll likely find a payment kiosk nearby. And you should check the screen for a little American or British flag so that you can switch to English, but don't expect all of them to have that. When we first got here, we got a couple of parking violations because we didn't realize we had to pay. Some cities have the pay by phone apps, but it varies from city to city. And last, it's not reasonable to expect your hotel or rental apartment to have free parking. So make sure to check about that in advance so you'll have a plan for it if you need it. And again, when it comes to parking in France, the smaller car is definitely the better option.
Now in France, you won't find a gas station with a convenience store at every street corner. And many times you'll find a self-serve station with no attendant to help you. You'll just get your gas, pay for it, and drive off. Now one piece of advice I can give you is make sure you're very clear on the type of gas that you need to put in your car. We've heard of stories of people putting the wrong type of gas in their car and having to pay to get it pumped out. Many rental cars may be using diesel, so you need to know about that. But for most of you, your car will probably use the regular unleaded just like this. And the price that you're seeing at the pump, that's the price per liter, not per gallon. But one thing that we appreciate in France is a lot of those small cars are very efficient in gas consumption. So that should also be an incentive for you to get a smaller car.